So one thing I wanted to kick us off with, because I think you have a unique perspective that I wanted to dive into here, talk about how you all have seen, since we spoke, I think we spoke in 2021, it's been a couple years, how the industry has kind of evolved and changed. It's definitely, there's been some disruption. There's, it's been shaken up a little bit here and there, different industries, different focuses, but new technologies coming in. But tell me from your perspective, what's happening in the industry right now? What things are having the biggest impact on the industry, disrupting it the most? Just kind of go from there.
When we spoke in 21, I think we were predicting what was going to happen. And actually, I would say that the high-level answer to your question is now we can talk about those things that actually did happen. And one of the things we talked about was eSIM was coming, the EUICC standard, the eSIM, the SIM that wasn't locked to the operator, and how that would be not just a technical development, but a massive disruption. After 40 years of the mobile network industry where the operators had their own SIM, which locked the connection to them, the eSIM would break that 40-year proprietary lock. And that has happened. And actually that's going from eSIM to iSIM. So it's actually the physical SIM is disappearing and it's going down to the silicon. But essentially the biggest thing that's happened is the breaking of the 40-year proprietary lock. And you can see the reverberations of that happening now all around us, almost on a daily basis. And I'll just quote you a few examples. What you see is, from an operator perspective, many of the world's operators are now embracing global platforms because customers, the end user, is saying, oh, well, if my SIM can be agnostic, then I can create one product SKU, build it once, and just put it all the way around the world, and it will, in theory, connect to any operator. Right. And I stress in theory. And so therefore, can I buy global connectivity from you, XYZ operator? And of course, what they say is, well, no, we only have roaming agreements with a few people and we don't do global. We do these regions, but we don't do those countries because of regulatory. So basically, the only answer to that is the MNOs, mobile network operators, have to embrace global platforms. And around the time we first spoke, TELUS of Canada had white labeled us, and TELUS now have a fully global offer. They can actually sell global connectivity through a single solution. The second thing you see as evidence of this disruption is the people who provided the platforms to those mobile network operators are all retrenching. The biggest example is Ericsson, who about 4 months ago divested their platform business. It used to be called DCP, then it was called IOTA. They basically divested it to a US MVNO called Aeris, which was a pretty big deal. I mean, you've got something like 60 operators using Ericsson, and suddenly Ericsson's no longer in the business. I mean, they've got rid of it and the people. And you've seen similar moves with Cisco. It used to be called Jasper, now Control Center, basically narrowing it down to fewer companies. The world's biggest IoT provider, Vodafone, publicly announcing that they're divesting themselves of their entire IoT business, right? It's being spun out. These are all effects of the disruption of people saying that the control plane being at the MNO level is moving. Now, so where is it moving? Well, it's moving currently to the MVNO level. We're an MVNO. We do global IoT. We spoke previously, we power 1,000 customers. We got 4 of the Fortune 10. We do big global single SKU deals. And people say, oh, does this mean the MVNO model has succeeded? It's taking over. Actually, I think that there's something much more subtle than that going on because, and I'm kind of answering multiple questions here in this one from your intro. If the way to think about this is that where is the switch? Forget the companies, forget the players in this game. Where's the switch? The switch that says you're now connected to X, now you're connected to Y, now you're connected to Z. Where is the switch resident? For 40 years, the switch has been resident in the MNO. The MNO chooses the connectivity. What's happening now very clearly with eSIM and EUICC, global platforms, cloud native platforms, the switch is resident in the MVNO. So we have our own switch. We choose which network your device connects to. But the next thing that's happening, and it's happening very quickly, each wave of innovations quicker than the last, is that the switch is moving from the MVNO to the device. So that's the next big thing. The device is going to choose the connectivity. So in a nutshell, disruption happening everywhere, triggered by business model change.